here's what's going on in Palisades right now. I lived out there for a minute, so I really actually know this area really well.
Look, let's start with the containment numbers, and they are up in all 3 active fires over the last 24 hours. Not significantly, but it does show that teams along the front lines are making some progress. There's concern right now that progress could be in jeopardy with what's now being characterized as an extreme and particularly dangerous
This
red
like
flag warning. That's a
right.
rare designation. We saw it initially with the fires that left devastation like this across miles in this area. Areas that look
I
like a
lived right near
bomb's
there.
been dropped. Others where there's just nothing left, no clue of what was standing before the flames. The winds, again, expected to intensify dramatically over the next several days with gusts that could reach 70 miles an hour
That's what it's
or
doing
more.
right
Not the
now
90
at
to
this
100
time.
we saw initially, but still strong enough to really re-energize the fire where it is burning out of control at this point. Enough to spark embers and spread those embers into new areas. Now, 1,000 additional National Guard troops have been moved into the area. 2,500 in all now working this fire. Law enforcement, fire teams constantly patrolling and preparing for this next wind event
And
that is
looting
coming. The
and
Palisades
more looting,
is, of course,
organized
the largest
looting.
blaze. It's 14% contained right now. And so the opportunity for this fire to spread is something that's really
How do they come up with that number?
So which number?
14%.
Basically, they look at the area that's on fire
Uh-huh.
and they say, okay, we've got this corner here. And that's about all they can do.
All right.
That's where they're coming up with these numbers.
So, all right.
Now, wait, I want to set the stage here real
All right,
fast.
okay.
I want to set the stage here real fast. The areas that are burning, Malibu, first of all, the iconic Hollywood Beach Boys movie set basically is
Gone.
Malibu, California. Okay. And that's where that's basically Hollywood's impression of California is Malibu Beach. It's gone. It's not there anymore. All of those buildings, all of those houses, there's one house left standing, and it's because some old dude got out there with his hose and stayed and said, I'm either going to die or save my house.
Yeah,
And he managed to
God
save his
bless him.
house. God bless him. Now, the Palisades is not where the money is. Agora Hills and the I got to work it in my brain here. The west side of Calabasas is where the real money is. The Palisades is one of the oldest settlements in LA, for modern LA that we think of. And it's right up against the western edge, just past Santa Monica. The houses, they started building the houses closest to the mountains in the 1920s. Roy Rogers' house burned to the ground.
Uh-huh.
And then the rest of the houses were built after the 40s. As you move closer to the ocean, it was guys coming back from World War II. Here's how I know. The Norris family, my brother married into the Norris family, moved into that area in 1945.
Is that Chuck Norris?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say that'd be pretty cool.
No. At any rate, they had a hardware store there. The Norris Hardware is in Palisades.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's gone. Their house is gone as well. What happened is all these guys who came back from World War II built these houses in the Palisades. $20,000, $30,000. They could have a house in Pacific Palisades in California.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the California lifestyle that you see in a lot of the movies from the 50s and 60s. That's those guys. And they weren't wealthy. They weren't rich people, but they were landed now. These World War II veterans came back and built these houses, and other people, of course, came and built houses and everything too, built up the Palisades until it was this nice community. And like I said, they built the houses initially for $20,000, $30,000 back in the 40s. Now they're worth millions. That's the prime land for real estate.
Yeah.
In California is that Pacific Palisades. It's right up Sunset Boulevard and next to Temescal Canyon, which is the most scenic canyon.
What was the other state that we had burned down?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maui.
And it was Lahaina, the in Maui, that was like the nice neighborhood where
Yeah.
people who had built these houses decades and decades ago when you could afford it, and that burned somehow.
It just seems like this is a pattern.
A pattern. It feels like a pattern.
Yeah. Am I
It
wrong?
feels like a pattern.
And
I don't know.
wasn't like the Hawaii fire also a product of mismanagement of the natural resources?
So yeah, that's you're crazy talking, man. You're crazy talking, man. It's not like that happened or anything like that. So
Oh, look at that.
Gavin
$100
Newsom
million.
cut 100 fire prevention budget. What's crazy is all of this money. There's like 87 million that was given to illegals too.
Yeah. It was actually more than that.
Basically what I'm getting at, giving the laying the ground for what the Palisades really was. It's not the Hollywood wealthy. They live way up in the hills. They've got 100-acre spreads and mansions. Okay, a couple of those did get got. But the Palisades is the old families that have been there that were normal folk and World War II veterans and their families, and they passed those houses down. Well, you can't get the people out of that house because they're just passing it down generations, 2-3 generations now.
Yeah. Hold my beer, hang fire,
Yep.
fire.
Yep.
And they literally fire for effect. Now, all right. The thing that's really got me flustered is we have the X marks the spot right on New Scum's head. He is solely responsible for this. The buck is supposed to stop with him.
There's no question that this is.
He's literally dumping sand on the floor and trying to soft shoe his way out from underneath this fiasco. Because he's literally taking money out of the coffers or selling new taxes or forcing new taxes on the residents of California and giving that money to illegal aliens. I mean, there is no excuse for this. And listen, even if he resigns, it's not enough. Like, he needs to do serious fucking prison time for this.
Yeah, this is bad.
This is beyond, oops, I made a mistake. I touched a boobie or a titty when I shouldn't have. Almost an entire city has been burned down because of you.
This goes back further than Newsom, though. So Newsom created the environment where this could happen today.
Yes.
But the whack job environmentalists that inhabit the entire left coast from Washington State, Oregon, down to California, these idiots won't let anybody clear brush on the ground, which is what fuels these fires.
No, really? No.
When the wife and I bought our house a couple of years back, the brush was within 50 feet. You were there.
Yeah.
Was within 50 feet of the house. I pushed all of that shit back 200 feet.
Yeah.
Got that away. And we're in Michigan, which is a damp state. We get rain. We get snow.
And we do have forest fires from time to time.
Here and there. But we take care of our stuff. We do ground management, and people in the state know to do grounds management, and nobody's preventing us from doing grounds management. In California, you can't touch it. It's nature. Yeah. You're going to disturb the environment of the orange pot smoking beer moth. And it's like, and these are just kidding me right
they're
now?
Not even laws. This is like bureaucratic rules that they've arbitrarily just set up.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can't clear if you have property, and I know people who lived up in the hills around Calabasas that they live up in the mountains and there's trees and brush everywhere, and they're not allowed to clear the damn brush except for on their specific yard. That's it.
Yeah, that's some horse shit right there.
Or cut any trees down. They can't cut any trees down either. You have to do land management.
And also,
or you get this.
Well, another thing, the bureaucratic red tape to get anything done in California.
Yeah. Oh, it's insane.
It's like 3 years at a minimum.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane. You can't even start building a house for something like 3 years in California in some cases.
Yeah.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.